Thursday 2 December update on Mismatched. Inoki saying sorry, I have called a here. Babli asks her not to do this. Inoki says you have no respect here, come with me, that's it. Babli asks, where will you take me? Inoki says I can't let you stay here, we will stay anywhere. Babli asks her to focus on her career. Inoki asks what about your life? Babli says I am not qualified or brave. Like you. A here comes. Vineet taunts her. Inoki says he is my Jiju. Ahir asks why did you call, is everything fine? Babli signs no to her. Inoki says an imp issue had come, now it's over. Ahir asks, did you cover it up? Inoki says yes. He says I can help. She says I will inform you if there is some problem. He argues with Vineet. He asks where is your sister? Vineet says she doesn't meet everyone, both sisters' nature is different. He goes. Ahir asks Inoki to take rest. Shaurya comes and sees them together. Ahir sees him. Inoki thanks Ahir. Ahir leaves. Shaurya asks how are you feeling, did you get the tests done? Inoki says you will be happy to know that I am fine or not, you have no interest in hearing others, you leave midway. He says you always insult others. They argue. He asks are you going to college in this state? She says I am going to meet Astha, I respect her. He says take care and goes. Vineet gets Inoki's bag and asks her to leave, else he will call police. She says next time, I will take my sister along. Babli cries seeing her. Inoki runs to hug her. She asks her to handle her life, she has to change her life. She says I will take you from here. She asks Babli to take care. She leaves. Astha and Inoki settle in the flat. Astha asks why do you look worried? Does your family has a problem with your stay here? Inoki says no, you have to take medicines, I will go to college today. Astha asks her to go to college. Once she gets fine. Inoki says I will make tea. Astha says go and sit there, I will make tea. They have a laugh. Shaurya comes there to meet Astha. Mai plays. He apologizes to her. He says we make little issues big and have hopes, it's imp to clear it. Astha says I didn't understand. He says I will explain, don't have assumptions, I will make it very clear, I am not your son, I am sorry how I spoke to you, nothing will change, there is a story behind those words. Our story can't have a happy ending. Astha cries. Shaurya says you think you are right, Dad thinks he is right, he supports only you, who am I in this story, no one cared for me, it's okay. Inoki taunts him. She says I can't change my perception about you. He says I really don't care, keep your thoughts to yourself, I have to go. Astha stops him. She thanks him. She says my son has asked me something for the first time, I forgive you, thanks. Shaurya asks Inoki not to drag everything. He says no need to come to college until you get fine, she won't have any problem of attendance or notes, there will be some peace in the college. Inoki says I will come to college regularly from tomorrow. He leaves. Tej asks why didn't Shaurya come, I have to talk to him about the new college. Alec asks him to tell him. Tej says Shaurya will handle this. Alec asks, why? You need an experienced man like me. Shaurya has a lot of things happening here. Tej says I thought of this to make him away from Astha and Inoki. Alec says Astha will go back, I think. Inoki won't stay for long. Shaurya comes and says you called me. Sorry, my phone was on silent. Tej says you find a good professor in your place, you will be managing the new branch of our college. Shaurya thinks. Tej asks what is the matter, no thanks or smile. Shaurya says thanks. Alec asks what's on your mind, tell me. He thinks say you aren't interested in going there. He says, you can refuse if you want. Shaurya says no, this expansion was my idea. I also want SIAC's name. To reach heights, it's my dream project. Tej says I will go for my meeting, study this file and get to work. This new branch will double our business and fame, good luck. They leave. Shaurya thinks I have worked a lot for this new project. Why don't I like going there? What is stopping me here? He recalls Inoki. Inoki asking Astha why do you hear bitter words from Shaurya? Astha says at least he is talking to me. She says I have to go to back for my responsibilities. Inoki says no, I want to be with you. Astha says you have to try and understand Shaurya, you are a bright student. You are Shaurya's student now. Inoki nods. Devi stopped San. San says I am tired, good night. She asks him to sign the papers and end the matter. He asks what's the hurry, wait for 2 days. She asks why, is there a good Muhurat? He gets Astha's call. He says I got an imp call, don't worry, I will do the needful. He goes to answer the call. He asks how are you? She says you seem worried, is everything fine? He says no one would care what I do with my flat. She says Shaurya came to say sorry. Why, didn't he tell you? San says no, I didn't meet him, I was with Alec. I will call you later. She asks what's the matter. He says nothing, I will call you back. He disconnects. Inoki asks are you fine? Astha says yes. San says Shaurya would have told this at home, so Devi gave the divorce papers. He sits worried. Shaurya comes. He asks where were you? San says I wasn't there what you are thinking. Shaurya says yes, I know. San asks what did you say Astha? Shaurya says maybe you were busy and didn't get detail report. San asks him to talk straight. Shaurya says fine, I hope you are not shifting there. They argue. San says no one has real concern for relations here. Shaurya says you decided to divorce Astha, it's high time. She looked comfortable at your flat, she can get hopes from your misleading actions, everyone needs clarity, she doesn't know that you are divorcing her. San scolds him. It's morning, some goons follow Inoki. Ahir comes and helps her. She says I was late for college and took a shortcut. He says you took a risk, I will drop you, come. He asks about Babli. She says she is fine. He asks about Astha. She says she is also doing fine. San wants me to stay with her for few days, he cares for her. He says they have love between them even when they are away, unlike Babli and Vineet. I will send a warning to Vineet. Inoki says yes, I will tell Babli to fight for herself. He asks can I drop you now? She says yes. They smile. She thanks him. Shaurya sees them, talking and smiling. He breaks the signal and goes. Ahir says don't know why are people in hurry. Inoki says don't know what's their emergency. Shaurya speaks to the traffic police. He pays the challan. He thinks the day started bad. Inoki's friends praise her bravery. Shaurya comes in. Says sorry, I got late. The student jokes on him. He says our syllabus didn't end, I am resigning. As a lecturer, it's our last class. Bebo and Kitty ask him what happened. He says it's management's decision. I am going to SIAC Patiala, a new teacher will join soon. They ask who is it? Shaurya says, I don't know, don't trouble the new teacher. He sees Inoki. The students get upset that Shaurya is leaving. Inoki hears the students. Kitty and Bebo get angry on her. Rima asks Inoki about the riots. Inoki tells everything. She gives the credit to Ahir for saving her. Shaurya looks on and goes. Inoki goes to him and asks, "Are you leaving the college because of me?" He asks, "Since when did you get so imp?" She asks, "Why are you leaving? The students want you here." He scolds her and says, "You don't know me." She says, "I know you. You hide your emotions well." He says, "What will happen if I show my emotions? You don't understand anything. I am glad to leave. Go and talk to those great people around you, not me." He goes.